Good day again. It's 7:26 a.m. now, the 10/13th, 2016 for Ross Jason Beaumont. Let's talk about stalking real quick and modern day stalking. Stalking's changed since the cell phone, and that's about it. And the internet, and leaving descriptions and what you're gonna do per day. But that gives somebody the right to bump into you with. For some reason, if you give somebody your path and where your route is going to be, like Michael DeCozy says he's going to work the following places, then you might show up to one of his shows or events, but that's not stalking because he's asking you to come out and watch his events because that's what a musician type person does that wants you to come out to their events and pay your way into their establishment they're working in. Just like work in some ways. Okay, here how it works. You're at home, and it's called surveillance too, I guess, in some ways. Well, you leave your house, somebody's watching you on a camera, and or by person, and when you leave, they witness you leave, say you're on your way, and they generally know what day you go shopping on and which way you drive to work or going for a walk or walking to the library. They know your path all the time because one doesn't usually divert off the quickest and most accessible way for the path of least resistance to get in that direction. So they always know where you're driving, where you're walking or riding your bike, and what time the buses come, if you're taking the bus, and so forth. So they can pre-plan events ahead of time and work different scenarios out in front of you, and you never know the difference. That's stalking. They know when you leave and what time frames you hit each junction in your life. And when you arrive to a place, how long it takes from there to there usually, because they timed you or they timed it with themselves, knowing the distance, your height, and how fast you walk. That's stalking. Because they know as soon as you leave to go where you're going. That's stalking. And then they act things out in front of you, psychologically or physically, and cause you problems or not problems at all, and watch you. That's stalking. It's not stalking because they have cameras up there for security purposes in the businesses or the buildings you're in. That's security for everybody's personal safety, for the employees and the people working there, or the people going there as well. Just like body cameras on security guards and policing, and even firefighters, if they can handle the heat and stuff that's going on in the buildings. There you go, stalking. There's no such thing as computer stalking because when you're on the internet, on Facebook or MSN, whatever you want to call it, or on your open chat line or tweet, it's open for all people. You can shut it off and block out whoever you'd like to because you don't want to talk to them. Just like having a request for your friends list on who is on there and who isn't, and who you can send your private messages to as well, because that's the way it works. It's a telephone. It's a restricted line or not. I think they used to call it unlisted lines, and you weren't in the yellow pages, but Facebook and any type of chat line on the thing is open for all people to see your pictures, and that's it. And you request whether you have a friendship or not to open messages, to have private PMs or whatnot, private messages, PMs yet. Anyhow, stalking, that's what it is. Watching them leave and getting ahead of them and watching them a whole way, sitting in front of their house with a TV camera or a set of binoculars as well, for a long period of time, not driving by their house because everything's a public domain. That's part of business and part of life Well, that's why we pay taxes, and that's why we have roads and sidewalks to travel on anywhere we need to go. It's when you stop and sit in front of their house. Because a business, well, it's open for make money.